This is Minutes to Midnight by Trent Parke. This is a hardbound, cloth-covered book of about 53 images. They're all black and white, pretty high contrast, and they're printed on fairly thick, high-quality paper, and the prints themselves are of very good quality. The tone of this book is set off by the only essay, which is really just a clipping from an Australian newspaper, which is describing sort of this unexplainable phenomenon that happened in the night sky in 2010. The images in this book are very dark in both the tone of the actual photos themselves and the mood depicted. It's clear the photographer chose to shoot a lot of the photos at night, and he also used direct flash, which is evident by the blown out highlights. You also see a lot of motion blur with the people or maybe the cameras moving too. And as far as the mood, it's kind of hard to describe because there's tones of whimsy and nostalgia, and obviously some of the photos are very dark and curious and slightly disturbing, and some of them are really unsettling. There's also an interesting play between life and death throughout this book due to, you have photos of animals in their habitats or flying in the night sky or trapped in a spider's web. And then you also have, images of roadkill on the side of the road. And then you have, photos of people that looked slightly distressed or completely distressed. And then you also have kind of some really interesting interactions between mother and child, as well as, there's a photo that seems to be from a water birth, and it's a newborn baby just being brought into this world. And then about a little more than 2/3 into the book, you have just two pages of just black. And I think that kind of adds an interesting pause within the book. There's a couple instances where the photographer takes up both pages in a spread. And for me as the viewer, they're almost like a pause or a blink. Because of the mysterious nature of this book, I looked into the photographer and found out that they are, in fact, an Australian photographer who created this book, took these pictures while on a huge long road trip through their native Australia. I also looked up the authenticity of the opening article and found out that in remote Australia, something called Min lights, which is an unexplained phenomena where people see these glowing spheres of light, is actually fairly common. Being able to tie both a place and an unexplained phenomena helps me almost understand this book a little bit better. It's kind of a testament to the unsettling and the unexplainable, and how we live in a world where unexplainable things happen all the time.